Hello dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Myself Dr. DC Saxena, Professor and Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology at Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology, Longowal, presenting you the paper Technology of Meat, Poultry, Fish and Seafood Products. Herein, I will be presenting you the module Postmortem Muscle Chemistry, Loss of Homeostasis and Postmortem Glycolysis, which will be explained to you by my co-author, Mr. Mandeep Singh, who has been associated with this work for a long time.
Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Mandeep Singh from Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today I am going to talk about module number 6, which is of paper number 8, that is Technology of Meat, Poultry, Fish and Seafood. In this module, we will discuss about the post-mortem changes, that is, post-mortem changes is a series of reaction prior to rigor mortis and aging. There are more chemical changes that took place. First is loss of homeostasis and a post-mortem glycolysis. Post-slaughter changes in a food animal is followed by a series of chemical and physical changes over the period of several hours or even days, which result in the conversion of muscle to meat. There is immediate loss of oxygen supply, which cause exsanguination as a stored oxygen in the myoglobin gets depleted, and inhibition of aerobic pathway leads to anaerobic pathway. This process continues till all the glycogen stored in the muscle get exhausted. Homeostatic method is a mechanism or the property of a system in which variables are regulated so that internal conditions remain stable and relatively constant. Examples of homeostasis include the regulation of temperature and the balance between acidity and alkalinity. It is a process that maintains the stability of human body's internal environment in response to changes in the external conditions. It is controlled by the nervous system, which ceases within 4 to 6 minutes after bleeding. In the absence of blood supply, there is a loss of heat and temperature starts declining during this period. Post-mortem glycolysis is characterized by the absence of oxygen and formation of lactic acid due to anaerobic pathway which utilizes the stored glycogen reserve. This causes change in the pH, which is an important post-mortem change. These changes cause and affects the quality of meat and the derived product. Now, we will discuss about the post-mortem, rigor mortis and muscle chemistry. The content of this module are divided into following sections. First of all, we will go through the brief introduction of muscle chemistry and the post-mortem chemistry of muscle, which will affect the meat quality. Second, we will discuss about the loss of homeostasis, which is an important criteria after the death of an animal. Third, the post-mortem glycolysis. In this section, there are two subsections which we will discuss, that are the PSE, that is pale, soft, exudative type of meat which is affected by the glycolysis, and the second type of glycotic effect is the dark, firm, and dry meat. Thereafter, we will discuss the importance of pH changes in a muscle to meat conversion. Slaughtering of animals is followed by a series of physical and chemical changes over a period of several hours, or it may take even days. The process starts with the exsanguination of animal and where bleeding takes place. Myoglobin is thus decreased in oxygen, and as a result inhibition of aerobic pathway by both citrate cycle and cytochrome system occurs. This type of conditions thus leads to anaerobic pathway for energy production and results in a breakdown of glycogen to the lactic acid. Now this process continues until the stored glycogen in a muscle is totally exhausted. This type of ATP production pathway is not enough to maintain the required ATP level. Therefore, muscles contain small amount of buffers that neutralize the lactic acid formed as a product of anaerobic cycle. But as the more and more lactic acid is formed, the pH of a tissue begins to fall. The amount of lactic acid formed is directly proportional to the amount of glycogen present in the muscle. Exsanguination. It is a process of a blood loss to a degree sufficient to cause death. One does not have to lose all of one's blood to cause death. Depending on the age, health, and the fitness level of the individual, people can die from losing half or two-thirds of their blood. A loss of roughly one-third of the blood volume is considered very serious and can cause death. Even a single deep cut can warrant suturing and hospitalization, especially if trauma, a vein or artery or another comorbidity is involved. It is most commonly known as bleeding to death or bleeding out. The loss of homeostasis in an animal during slaughtering. Homeostasis is a process of adaptation of body's internal environment with the external environment to cope up the extreme variation conditions like the change in temperature, daylight, oxygen deficiency, energy supply, and other conditions that stimulates the internal body changes. Homeostasis is controlled completely by the nervous system of an animal. The common example of homeostasis is the adaptation of a sight when coming from dark to light, which is common phenomenon in all human beings and other animals. Loss of homeostasis in an animal during slaughtering takes place in the following way. After slaughter, aerobic metabolism begins to fail due to the stored oxygen supply being depleted. In case of animal slaughtering, the homeostasis ceases within 4 to 6 minutes after the bleeding, which is accompanied by loss in body heat and decrease in a temperature takes place. To maintain homeostasis, anaerobic energy metabolism starts producing lactic acid, consuming the glycogen stored in the muscle. Thus, the structural integrity of the cell is maintained for a period of time, although less energy in the form of ATP is thus produced. Now, what is anaerobic glycolysis? Anaerobic glycolysis is only an effective means of energy production during a short, intense exercise, providing energy for a period ranging from 10 seconds to 2 minutes. The anaerobic glycolysis system is dominant from about 10 to 30 seconds during a maximal effort. It replenishes very quickly over this period and produces 2 ATP molecules per glucose molecule consumed, or about 5% of glucose energy potential, that is near about 38 ATP molecules. The speed at which ATP is produced is about 100 times that of oxidative phosphorylation. The pH in the cytoplasm quickly drops when hydrogen ions accumulate in the muscle, eventually inhibiting enzymes involved in glycolysis. The burning sensation in muscles during hard exercise can be attributed to the production of hydrogen ions during a shift to anaerobic glycolysis, as oxygen is converted to carbon dioxide by aerobic respiration faster than the body can replenish it. The fates of pyruvate under anaerobic conditions. Pyruvate is the terminal electron acceptor in lactic acid fermentation. When sufficient oxygen is not present in the muscle cells for further oxidation of pyruvate and NADH produced in a glycolysis, NAD plus is regenerated from NADH by reduction of pyruvate to lactic acid. Pyruvate is converted to lactic acid by the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. The standard free energy change of the reaction is 25.1 kJ per mole. Thereafter, ethanol fermentation occurs in the normal processes, where yeast and other anaerobic microorganisms convert glucose to ethanol and carbon dioxide rather than pyruvate. Pyruvate is first converted to acetaldehyde by enzyme pyruvate decarboxylase in the presence of thiamine pyrophosphate and magnesium ion. Carbon dioxide is released during this reaction. Acetaldehyde is then converted to ethanol by the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase. NADH is oxidized to NAD plus during this reaction. However, this reaction is under the control of microbial metabolism. They have no concern with the muscle anaerobic glycolysis, where the final product is lactic acid. Now, we will discuss the water holding capacity as a criteria of meat quality. The water holding capacity of a meat products is a very important quality attribute which has an influence on a product yield, which in turn has economic implications but is also important in terms of eating quality. A number of pre and post mortem factors influence the water holding capacity, abbreviated as WHC, of meat. During the growth and development of meat animals, genotype and animal diet are important due to their direct influence on a muscle characteristic. In the immediate pre-slaughtered period, stresses on the animal such as fasting and different stunning methods are likely to influence meat water holding capacity. In the post-slaughter period, chilling, aging, injecting non-meat ingredients as well as tumbling have important influences on water holding capacity. Furthermore, cooking and cooling procedures for the final meat products can also affect the water holding capacity of the product. In particular, the cooking and the cooling methods, the heating and the cooling are included. Unacceptable water holding capacity costs the meat industry millions of dollars annually. However, limited progress has been made toward understanding the mechanism that underlie the development of drip or purge. It is clear that early post-mortem events, including rate and extent of pH decline, proteolysis, and even protein oxidation, are key in influencing the ability of a meat to retain moisture. Much of the water in the muscle is entrapped in the structures of a cell, including the intra and extramyofibrillar spaces. Therefore, key changes in the intracellular architecture of a cell influence the ability of a muscle cells to retain water. The post-mortem glycolysis in meat. Muscles does not cease to function at a time when an animal dies. However, the metabolic functions are markedly altered. After an animal is slaughtered, blood circulation stops and the muscles exhaust their oxygen supply. Muscles can no longer use oxygen to generate ATP and turn to anaerobic glycolysis, a process that breaks down sugar without oxygen to generate ATP from glycogen, a sugar that is stored in a muscle. Typically, there is a burst of muscular activity at the time of death due to trauma of a brain and a spinal cord. Glycogen is served as raw material which is being utilized by body through aerobic pathway for the production of ATPs, which is achieved in living animals by aerobic glycolysis. Few key features of post-mortem glycolysis are that the glycogen is converted into lactic acid. The muscle pH drops to 5.6 because of the production and accumulation of lactic acid. The muscle color also changes, which is from purple to bright red or pink when a pH drops from 7 to 5.6. Usually, glycolysis ceases before all the glycogen is depleted, although the reason for the cessation are not completely understood. Possibilities included that the low pH that develops may inactive one of the glycolytic enzyme, or the conversion of adenine nucleotides to inosines derivatives may halt the glycolytic flux. If the acid content is too high, the meat loses its water binding ability and becomes pale and watery. Lactic acid buildup also releases calcium, which causes muscle contraction. As glycogen supplies are depleted, ATP regeneration stops, and the actin and a myosin remain locked in a permanent contraction called rigor mortis. The location of water in muscle. Lean muscles contain approximately 75% of the water. The other main components include protein, which is approximately 20%, lipids or fat, which are 5%, carbohydrates approximately 1%, and vitamins and other minerals. The majority of water molecule in a muscle is held within the structure of the muscle and muscle cells. Specifically, within the muscle cell, water is found within the myofibrils, between the myofibrils themselves and the myofibrils and the cell membrane, between the muscle cells and muscle bundles, or the group of muscle cells. True bound water is a very small fraction of the total water in a muscle cells. Depending on the measurement system used, approximately 0.5 gram of water per gram of protein is estimated to be tightly bound to the proteins. Since the total concentration of a protein in a muscle is approximately 200 mg per gram, that is the 20%, this bound water takes only up to less than a tenth of the total water in a muscle. The amount of bound water changes very little, if at all, in post-rigor muscle. Another fraction of a water that can be found in a muscles and in a meat is termed entrapped, or also referred to as immobilized water. The water molecules in this fraction may held either by steric or space effects and by attraction to the bound water. This water is held within the structure of a muscle but is not bound per to the protein. In early postmortem tissue, this water does not flow freely from the tissue, yet it can be removed by drying and can be easily converted to ice during freezing. And trapped or immobilized water is most affected by the rigor process and the conversion of muscle to meat. Free water is a water whose flow from the tissue is unimpeded. Weak surface forces mainly hold this fraction of a water in a meat. The majority of water that is affected by the process of converting muscle to meat is entrapped water. Maintaining as much of this water as possible in a meat is the goal of many processors. Now let us discuss the effect of pH on meat. All these changes are undesirable, whether the muscle is going to be used as a fresh meat or subjected to further processing. The gene that is responsible for PSE meat is the halothane sensitivity gene, that is HAL, which is associated with a fast rate of post-mortem decline in pH and which is more likely in stress susceptible animals. Halothane positive animals are homozygous in nature and they can be detected by exposure to halothane gas, which induces the porcine stress syndrome in these animals. Now let us discuss the pale soft exudative, that is PSE meat. A sharp decline in a post-mortem pH even before the dissipation of a body heat through carcass chilling may cause denaturation of some muscle proteins. This kind of a meat exhibit pale, soft, exudative conditions, that is PSE, which cause the low pH prevents or retards microbial growth. The rate of pH change post-mortem also influences the meat quality. Development of low pH in muscle cause denaturation of muscle proteins. This denaturation cause loss of protein solubility, loss of water binding capacity and protein binding capacity, loss in intensity of a muscle and pigment coloration as well. Pale, soft, exudative, that is the PSE meat. A sharp decline in a post-mortem pH even before the dissipation of a body heat through carcass chilling may cause denaturation of muscle proteins. This kind of a meat exhibits pale, soft, and exudative condition. The low pH prevents or retards the microbial growth. The rate of pH change post-mortem also influences meat quality. Development of low pH or acid in a muscle cause denaturation of muscle proteins. This denaturation causes loss of protein solubility, loss of water and protein binding capacity, loss in intensity of a muscle pigment coloration. Normally, calcium ion are used by the body to activate muscles composed of myofibril cells. Calcium ion is transported out of the sarcoplasmic reticulum surrounding muscle fiber cells and leads to metabolism and contraction of myofibers. Under PSE condition, twice the amount of calcium ion is released post-mortem, which causes excessive muscle glycolysis and the buildup of lactic acid. This lactate accumulates in the post-mortem muscle and leads to a very low pH. As the pH drops, proteins in the myofibers are denatured, leading to abnormal cell structure and function. The result is a pale tissue color and a soft, almost mushy texture. The muscle cells shrink and less water is held within the cell membrane. Subsequently, the myofibers will continue to lose water content as the meat is cooled and stored, leading to excessive drip loss. Dark, firm, dry condition of a meat or DFD meat. The high pH also enhances microbial meat spoilage. The presence of DFD meat develops mainly in a forequarter and glycolytic muscle of ham for all the species, but the frequency is different among the species. Contrary to PSE condition, muscles which maintains a consistently high pH during post-mortem changes or conversion of muscle to meat depicts dark, firm, dry meat. In such cases, the pH values affect many meat properties including color and drip loss. Muscles that maintain a high pH during conversion of muscle to meat may very dark in color and very dry on exposed cut surface because the water is kept tightly bound to proteins. Beside these, there is another type of meat quality as affected by pH is the dark cutter condition that occurs in a beef muscle having a high ultimate pH. Like the DFD conditions in a pig, dark cutters result from the ante-mortem depletion of glycogen. However, this depletion is not due to genetic condition but rather appear to result from a stress response. The incidence of dark cutting is often high in a bulls as much as 15% since they tend to fight. The effect of pH on a meat quality. Glycogen levels prior to slaughter will determine the ultimate pH. pH also is an important in determining the water holding capacity of meat. pH decline during 24 hours of post-mortem for DFD as shown in figure. Tender stretch hanging involves sheep carcass being suspended by the pelvic or attic bone so that the leg drops down at a 90-degree angle. As a result, a number of muscles are held in a stretched position, so they cannot contract. During stress is the most frequently identified factor in the pre-slaughtering handling of animals. It negatively affects the meat quality, which results in economic losses. Stress and energy expenditures in the pre-slaughter period cause the depletion of muscle glycogen reserve and consequently the insufficient post-mortem production of lactic acid. Low acidity in the aging period results in the change of color, structure, taste and tenderness of meat. The following graph depicts the relationship between pH and water holding capacity, where water holding capacity is the lowest is the isoelectric point, where the number of positively and negatively charged groups of myofibrillary protein is equal. Thus, the charges cancel out and no charge is available to hold the bound and immobilized water. The ability of fresh meat to retain moisture is arguably one of the most important quality characteristics of raw products. It has been estimated that as much as 50% or more of the pork produced has unacceptably high purge or drip loss. The majority of water in the muscle is held either within the myofibrils and between the myofibril and the cell membrane. Once the muscle is harvested, the amount of water and location of that water in a meat can change depending on numerous factors related to tissue itself and how the product is handled at another end. So students, let us now summarize what we have learnt in this module. The preliminary post-mortem changes like homeostasis and glycolysis plays an important role in the quality of food meat and its products. Meat qualities like PSE and DFD are detrimental due to these changes. Little is known of the factors other than inadequate glycogen that determine the extent of glycolysis and hence the ultimate pH in a post-mortem muscle. As the animal is exsanguinated or bled, there is no longer a blood stream to carry oxygen to the muscle. Glycogen is still broken down in the muscles by the reflex actions of a slaughtered animal, but it can no longer get past the lactic acid stage. Eventually, nearly all the glycogen is used up, and once this occurs, the muscle no longer has an energy source to operate and locks up. We call this condition a rigor mortis, and depending on the temperature, this normally occurs at about 3 hours post-mortem. The buildup of lactic acid of the muscle lowers the pH, that is, it increases the acidity to about 6.2 at rigor mortis. Following these changes, rigor mortis occur, but the pre-rigor post-mortem changes are important for determining the quality of food meat. Thank you.
So, I am sure that you might have understood the scope as well as importance of loss of homeostasis and post-mortem glycolysis, and further you will be taught the next module as post-mortem muscle chemistry, which included rigor mortis and aging of meat.